Hi, Phil. A lot of excitement here at the JW Marriott. The screen behind us just called Illinois for Hillary Clinton, so good anticipation, excitement here as supporters start to stream in. Of course, if you've been following this race, Tammy Duckworth has held a sizable lead throughout most of it, even the incumbent Senator Mark Kirk acknowledging that he is probably the underdog. And Tammy Duckworth, you know the story well if you've watched Chicago tonight. She's a 2004 Iraq War veteran. Her helicopter, which she was captaining, was shot by a rocket-propelled grenade. She lost both of her legs as a result. 2006, she ran unsuccessfully for Congress. She later served as the head of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, then the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, before winning her current seat in Congress in the western suburbs in 2012. Now, of course, trying to make the leap to the Senate to become Illinois' junior senator. And joining me now is one of her top surrogates, the senior senator from Illinois, Senator Dick Durbin. Senator Durbin, what are the exit polls and the early returns telling you about where this race is right now?
Very positive for Tammy. Her polls have been strong for a long time. We didn't take it for granted. She worked hard, campaigned up until the last minute, but it looks now like she's going to be the next senator.
And are you expecting this race to be called pretty early?
Well, we hear that there will be that projected call. I'm a little skeptical of it until real votes are counted.
Of course, your party is trying to turn the Senate. There's a 54-46 Republican majority, trying to win 4, 5, 6 seats. What are you hearing right now about some of those other races that could turn the Senate in your favor?
Well, if this is not a political evasion, but they say there's a 50-50 chance for a 50-50 Senate, and I think that's about where we stand.
And what seats, what states are we talking about right now?
Most likely Democratic states, Illinois, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. And then beyond that, it's going to be a toss-up as to New Hampshire, North Carolina, Indiana, Missouri. Those are the ones we're watching.
Of course, if Hillary Clinton does win tonight, you know, gridlock has been the norm in D.C. for a long time, and perhaps Republicans have incentive to not work with her over the next 4 years. What does she do to break through that gridlock?
That's a first priority for her as a new president, if she's lucky enough to be elected. She's got to reach out to the other side, find some common ground, solve some problems. People want us to go to Washington and make their lives better, not create the next round of campaign commercials.
Of course, one of the problems right now is a vacancy on the U.S. Supreme Court. What is your best guess as to what happens to the nominee, Judge Merrick Garland?
Well, I support Merrick Garland, and I hope that Hillary will consider making him her nominee. But if she goes another route, let's move on it in an expeditious way. But this notion that the Senate is going to stop from approving any new Supreme Court nominees, and that's been said by several Republican senators, that would be horrible, disastrous from a constitutional viewpoint.
Is that serious, or is that just a threat?
I hope it's just campaign talk, because to say that we would leave the Supreme Court, one of the three branches of government, undermanned and without the majority it needs, is really to take a constitutional position. It's not defensible.
What about a possible lame duck hearings in the next couple months for Merrick Garland?
We've been ready, but Senator McConnell, the Republican leader, has said he won't let that happen. He wants Hillary Clinton to have the responsibility and take the time to fill that vacancy. I wish he'd reconsider.
Of course, tonight is about 2016, about Tammy Duckworth. Are you ruling out definitively any run for governor in 2018?
I got a great job. 2 years ago, the people asked me to be the senator from the state. I enjoy it. I hope I can continue to do it. I don't have any plans to do anything else.
Doesn't sound like a definitive no, though. You don't have any plans at this point.
You know, where are you going to be in 2 years? Do you know?
Let's hope somewhere.
Let's hope somewhere for me, too. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Take care. All right, Phil, so that's the latest from here at the JW Marriott as the crowd starts to stream in. Again, Tammy Duckworth has been up in the polls for most of this, and they do expect to call this race at some point, perhaps in the next hour. And if that does happen, of course, it ain't over till it's over, but if it does happen, we might break in and carry that speech live for you. Back to you.
Paris, thank you.